Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jonathan. I have two packages that came in the mail recently. One is from Mark with Legion of Comics, and the other one is actually from CGC. So, if you watched my channel within the past month, I did my first CGC submission. So it's pretty exciting that this came in the mail today. I've been waiting to find out what the grade is ever since it shipped, but I figured I would try to leave some kind of mystery, some kind of excitement when I actually, unbox it. So that, like I said, that's what this video is strictly about. Just two things that I recently got. The first thing that I got in the mail, like I said, was from Mark with Legion of Comics. This was part of his 1,000 subscriber celebration / giveaway. And it's Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 134. This is the first cameo appearance of Darkseid. So Mark, thank you so much for this book. He was nice enough to put it in a Mylar. I believe I had this book probably in the 80s up until probably like the early 2000s. I unfortunately probably sold this. And also Forever People #1, I believe I sold that sometime in the early 2000s. So glad to have this back in the collection. Thank you, Mark, again. And so I guess I'll go into my CGC submission. I ended up paying $150 to have this book put into the Express tier. I believe that was like $108 for the grading fee. Shipping and handling, was the rest of that amount of the $150. So I had originally joined the membership, I think at the $150 level. So $108 of this submission was basically credited off from my membership. So I think my credit card was only charged like $42. So I was happy about that because I had joined probably like April last year when I had heard that the prices were going to be increased. So that's when I decided I was going to try to do a submission. But I ended up holding off doing this because I was a little apprehensive when I originally went onto their website. Plugging in the information at that time was I don't know, tedious or difficult. But when I recently did it within the past month, it wasn't hard at all. So again, going to talk about the submission. My last video, I just said I was going to be happy if this was a blue label. I didn't go into what I thought this book would grade at. And I guess I'll talk about that a little bit now. So I thought at the very bottom this was a 2.0. I was hoping for a 3.0, and I think a 3.5 would have been too generous, of a grade, because I have other low grade books, so I can kind of compare what I think, the raw book is compared to, how CGC grades. So I was, like I said, if I get a 3.0, I'd be super ecstatic because that was more or less what I was hoping. 2.0 would be kind of disappointing because I definitely think it's better than a 2.0. So I guess I'll go into the process for me. I ended up shipping this out January 13th. I did the video January 14th. The package actually arrived only 2 days later to CGC on January 15th, but it waited there, I think, in their P.O. box for 2 days. They didn't pick it up until January 17th. That was like a Monday. I think it was Martin Luther King. They actually took only a day for them to mark it received into their software. So at that point, I think maybe a few days later, it went into the grading and encapsulation tier or status. And so it was like that for a while. And I had tried to find out from other community members how long it took them to get their Express tier book processed. And it pretty much was around the same turnaround time. It actually shipped Friday, February 4th. And here's, today it's the 7th. So Friday to Monday, it only took 3 days for me to get it. So from the time that they marked it as received and the time that they shipped it, that was only 17 days total. So I can't complain about the turnaround time. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from people about how their book's been there for a year, 6 months. Obviously, it's only one book submission. It was Express tier. There is obviously a premium for that tier. So luckily, for the time that I shipped it and the time that I received it, it was only a month and 5 days. So that wasn't very long for me to not have that book in my PC. I pretty much decided I'm going to swap it out for the first Prowler. Originally, I just wanted to have my Ant-Man books on the top and then my Spider-Man keys on the bottom. I'm going to obviously expand my wall behind me. But I'm glad to have this book. This book means a lot to me. I've had it since the early 80s. It was a book that was given to me by my stepfather. And so it survived so many different moves. That's why it means, you know, so much to me, because not everything is around that I kept, you know, from my early childhood. So I had my wife cover the label for me, so I didn't know what grade, you know, this would be, so it could be more of a surprise for you and me. I am cheating a little bit because it is a blue label. So here is the book, Hulk 181. As I had mentioned in my previous video, the spine had, you know, much wear. There was some creasing, you know, to the book itself. Little bit of a spine roll on it. The gentleman that I had sent it off to did his best, you know, to press it. I am happy, you know, that it's flat. There's no wrinkles or anything to it. I think it's in its best, you know, possible condition to display. I'm very happy with it, with the way it came out. The colors, like I said, are colors are very vibrant, very happy. So, blue label. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do it now. All right, let's see. What do we have? Oh, okay. All right, 2.5. Like I said, it's not a 2.0. I'm happy that it's not a 2.0. I was hoping for a 3.0. 2.5, like I said, definitely happy about that. Very respectable. Considering, like I said, it survived, and I knew it was a you know, low grade copy. So cream to off-white pages. I ended up trying to go before the video and see what the sold comps were and see what cover price listed at, you know, the different grades that I thought it could possibly be. So a 2.0 sold January 27th for $25.99. A 2.5, they had two sales, one for $2,400 and one for $3,100. So I would say it's probably like a $2,500 to $2,700 book. The Go Collect FMV I wasn't able to see because my membership is basic, but a 2.0 says the FMV is $1,900, so I don't think I'm too far off. So 2.5, I would say it's probably like a $2,500 book. So very happy. Ended up only having to spend maybe $150 to grade it, and maybe like $50 out of my pocket outside of whatever I had paid from the original membership. Because if you don't know, your credit for membership, they only do it towards the grading of the book. So anything, shipping and handling, whatever handling fees that they charge, that doesn't go towards the credit. But very happy. Thankfully, there's no Newton ring because there's no inner wall on the book. Moves a little bit, but I would say overall, like I said, I'm very happy to have it, and I'm going to definitely have it on display as soon as I'm done here. Probably show it to my wife and kids, because my son knows who Wolverine is, and I told him that I had the first appearance, and he was like, "Wow, that's so exciting! I can't believe it." So very glad to have this book. Very, very, very happy. I wanted to, I guess, throw something out to the community, because this is obviously my first submission, and I had noticed, like, when you select the shipping back to you, there was obviously different options. I ended up picking the most expensive option. I think it was $37 for me to ship it USPS. I ship stuff all the time USPS, and from Florida to other parts of Florida, maybe it's a $10 to $12 price, depending on the weight, where it's going. It should have cost more than, you know, $12 plus. You know, obviously I know with insurance, you know, I marked it down for a $2,000 value, so I would think, you know, that would be an additional $8 to $10 for insurance. So it should have only ran me maybe like $20, $25 at most, but they charged $37. But I know that there was other shipping options that you could choose. I know FedEx was like maybe like 12. It was like a lot cheaper. But I think those other shipping options didn't have insurance. So my question is, if you submitted through CGC, do you use the other shipping options because they're cheaper? Do you feel like secure that the book's not going to get damaged or destroyed or lost? I mean, what do you do in that sense? Like, because normally, you know, for something of any kind of value like this, I always make sure that the item is insured to ensure that I'm not out the price of the book, because I wouldn't be able to afford to buy another, you know, book like this. So that was something I wanted to ask. Maybe if you could, if you submitted to CGC and you've had experience with shipping, you know, what do you use? So, anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you, and take care. Bye.